Buena Vista Street is officially reopened at Disney California Adventure for a Downtown Disney expansion. Walt Disney World seems to be almost near capacity for park reservations for the holidays, and a slew of restaurants are coming back to the Walt Disney World lineup, plus Disneyland itself out in California. Well, it doesn't look like it will be reopening until at least 2021 now. We have all the details, all the discussion, and so much more. It's November 21st, 2020, and Kingdom Report Live starts right now.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
As always, beginning with that live look outside at the Disneyland Resort via the Hojo Anaheim Matter Cam. You take a look at Guardians of the Galaxy in the distance in this what seems to be cloudy, hazy shot. It is Disneyland Resort's sort of celebratory atmosphere, given the fact that California Adventure has now officially reopened its gates after so many months being closed. Not for the park, of course, but instead for Downtown Disney expansion, which, of course, we will be diving into here in just a bit. Hello, everybody. Wade Heath joining you once again from the Warner Brothers Studio Media District here in beautiful Burbank, California for an all-new Kingdom Report Live. Always a great pleasure to be a part of your weekend. And who am I here with to discuss all the news from coast to coast? Well, from AttractionFaction.net, it's America's power couple, Tyler Crouch and Katina Manzone.
That's right.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday,
You feel that power coursing through your veins?
I do.
yeah.
I just felt like uplifted all of a sudden. Just like, yes.
Yeah, especially when
Finally,
we're yelling
someone
at each other.
notices.
Yeah.
Just like Jafar, the power coursing through his veins. But you're not evil.
No, yeah, I was like, I don't know if I'd go with Jafar, but, maybe like a Hercules or something.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Hercules and
yeah.
Meg.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go. Yeah.
Wow.
I do like that song that Meg sings.
How does it go?
It's the one about she can't believe she's in love, I'm not going to sing it.
Oh, well, it's a missed opportunity, Tyler.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you want to do a duet with me next
All
next,
the
next time?
masses were waiting to hear you break into song, I think. And now, unfortunately, we'll never hear it.
Sadly not.
Well, it's better for everybody, trust me.
Well, I don't know about that. And, of course, making the world turn in the production dungeon. Back with us, producer Cristian. Hello, friend.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, hello. And tell us, do you happen to have a pin in which to share this week?
Of course I do. In
Well,
Christian's pin pocket.
Yeah.
I love it,
all
yes.
right, okay.
Just to emphasize my joy for my favorite character of Nightmare Before Christmas, it's Zero.
Oh, check that out. Sweet
Oh, it's
Zero.
little ears. Oh, how cute.
Perfect
it.
for Nightmare Before Christmas, and to have something like that being celebrated right now as we march on towards the holiday season. How special. My gosh. The pin pocket lives on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
I
it.
like
Love
it.
the name.
Catchy.
Yeah.
He worked on it for a couple weeks on that. He's like, I need to find a name, and I got
Producer Kurt's Cup Corner, Producer Christian's pin pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Yeah. Clearly, for the weeks that you've been away, Christian, you've managed to come up with something very creative. Thank you for that.
It was my pleasure. I gotta step up to Kurt's mantle.
That's right. Yeah, a lot to live up to on that front. My friends, we start with some Disneyland news where it turns out that during this earnings call that just happened with the Walt Disney Company, something was mentioned by the Disney CFO to indicate that Disneyland theme parks probably won't be reopening until early 2021 at the very least. So this was news coming out of the earnings call itself, where the Disney CFO was being asked about theme park earnings and sort of what expectations are, and we came to find that unfortunately the Disneyland Resort theme parks will probably not be opening after all this year. It is kind of stunning when you think about all the things that Disneyland has been through throughout 2020 and all the speculation that has come about when it comes down to this topic, and all the things we were hearing from the state level versus the local level. And now here we are sitting just about a month and a half shy of the new year, and it turns out, according to the CFO, Disneyland not opening anytime soon. There was one quote that I'm having trouble finding that we reported on earlier this week on our Kingdom Report YouTube channel when we did a bit of a Disneyland update. And it came from Deseret News. And the Deseret News article cited that the Disney CFO said in the call that it likely wouldn't be until March. So they said after the first quarter, which goes from October to January, so that's Disney's first fiscal quarter, but it probably wouldn't be until March that we saw Disneyland officially reopen. We can't find that anywhere else. We went digging into the earnings call transcript. Can't find that anywhere being mentioned. So I don't know if the Deseret News reporter thought maybe that was what the first quarter ending was and just assumed it was January to March, and that's what she meant and interpreted that on his own, but cited her as saying it. So we've reached out to that Deseret News reporter to ask, where did you hear that? Because we also ran with it just sort of as a rumor, as being said since it was reported, and right now we seem to be the only ones that are knocking on that March door because of what we saw. So at any rate, not until at least 2021. I got to tell you, sitting here in July as Walt Disney World was reopening, none of us anticipated that we would be here at the end of the year still without Disneyland theme parks reopened.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I was like hoping maybe around September. Like July was a no-go.
Right.
Absolutely not. And then I was like, okay, maybe September, ready for like October. And then it started getting at like in October, I'm like, I don't think they're going to be opening because I can't imagine them opening for the holidays because then everybody's just going to flock to the park and just bombard it, and then no one's going to be able to do it. But, man, it's, like, tough to swallow 2021.
It's
like,
pretty
that really
crazy.
sucks.
Yeah, no, I think I remember, this is not Disney related necessarily, but there's like this old tiki bar called Tonga Hut, and I remember back in like June or something, they were like, oh, we're going to have this block party in October, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally ready for that. That'll be awesome. Things will be back to normal. No, not even close. So it's just one of those things where I don't think anybody was prepared for how long this was going to go, back in the early summer and in March and things like that. But here we are, and
living with it.
I mean, things are getting worse every day. There was 200,000 cases of corona yesterday, just in America alone, and we need to start being a little more careful, I guess, because I think everybody's getting quarantine fatigue, which I'm one of them, and it's kind of dangerous, but I guess we're gonna have to just keep on being careful.
And of course, with that, the expansion of testing nationwide obviously is going to bump up all numbers as more availability with testing and quicker testing, as a matter of fact, is now seeing even faster numbers come in. So here we are at the end of the year, where now we're hearing all across the country, be careful when it comes to Thanksgiving, be careful when it comes to gathering with loved ones that might be outside your household, unless you're California Governor Gavin Newsom, in which case I guess it's completely acceptable. But be careful out there.
Well, he's special.
He is. Yeah, he has
very
unique
special
privileges.
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just go to a restaurant and tell everybody that it was outside when photos indicate that you were inside the whole time, and it's fine. Yeah.
Not putting masks on in between bites that he told us to do when we're at restaurants. Doesn't make any sense at all.
He's a special guy, and now with a curfew placed on California, it was at 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
yeah.
And
he's able to get restaurants now.
That's right.
I mean,
That's why he did it, right? He did it just so he could go to restaurants after 10 p.m. and nobody can take pictures of him.
That's right. Yeah. Don't you can't lock him up. No, not when you're the man in charge. By God. So at any rate, here we are on the other side of the year. kind of shocking to think that we're still in the spot where you have a whole cluster of theme parks out on one coast open and a whole cluster of theme parks completely shuttered still on the other coast. And as well, in addition to that, what I think comes along with that narrative is now, since the uptick in pandemic cases have continued to surge, we are seeing, unfortunately, downtown Disney have to be struck again with some unfortunate news, and that is that downtown Disney indoor dining is no more. They now have to push everything back outside. Fortunately, this does come at a good time, since Buena Vista Street reopened this past week, and with that came some additional capacity that they didn't have originally. So there's one plus that they didn't have to begin with, but downtown Disney reduced capacity inside of stores for retail, no indoor dining anymore, so it's all back outside. So that, of course, reduces the overall capacity that downtown Disney can have, already a very popular place since it has returned. And now we're looking at this California-wide, where indoor dining in the purple tier, I always forget what color we're on, the purple tier, which is the worst of all of our colors that we could be in. I believe 48 or 49 different counties in the state of California are in the purple tier, now suffering no indoor dining, now suffering the restricted capacity limits when it comes to anything retail related. And it, as I mentioned, comes at a good time because at least Buena Vista Street got to open with that expansion, not only Stage 17 that came along a couple weeks before it with some additional retail space, but now knowing Buena Vista Street has reopened with all that additional shopping space, all that additional outdoor dining space. And, they could realistically push all the way down the parade routes in front of those restaurants as far as they want to go with dining tables. So there's that plus, I guess we should say. But kind of unfortunate to know that, just prior to especially a holiday, where so many restaurants, ones that still exist, by the way, I think that's worth pointing out, a lot of restaurants are closed at this point. I mean, permanently. Oh, yeah. And so now knowing that, these restaurants that were able to hold on as long as they did, had Thanksgiving to look forward to, probably the one sort of light at the end of the tunnel for them in terms of revenue, because this has been a terrible year for everybody, now being either dashed in half because, and I guess even more than that, right? Because they were already restricted capacity indoors. So now dashed even further, and it's whatever they can do outside. My Thanksgiving dinner that I was going to have at a restaurant nearby in Orange County, they sent me a cancellation notice.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Said that they don't have the room, that they're going to do what they can outside, but they went with the how many reservations came in first, and I was at a cutoff point, and they said, you can probably do standby, but no guarantees. So at any rate, far be it for me to harp on, missing Thanksgiving dinner dining out. I mean, that's quite a luxury to have, but I'm more concerned about, here we go again. How many people are going to be without jobs? How many people are going to forego this option of, running their business moving forward because they might have to, it might come crashing down on them again. So here we are, downtown Disney and Buena Vista Street, going hand in hand, but we're sitting in a situation where indoor dining's restricted and retail restricted again.
I'm glad that Buena Vista, I mean, they opened opening for purple tier. They didn't have Carthay Circle being partly open and trying to get people in certain areas. They went into it knowing, if worse comes to worse, we know we have purple tier ready. Maybe if we start, if everybody wears their mask and stays indoors and does their thing, then maybe hopefully we'll step up and get through the tiers, and then maybe they might open up a little bit more in the park to allow more capacity in. But man, it's a bummer because I think everybody had 3 days.
Right.
Restaurants had 3 days to comply with setting or getting everybody outdoors, no inside seating anymore, and then pretty much having to furlough or let go those people that they just rehired because they got into, what is it, yellow tier, orange tier? I don't know.
Orange tier.
Yeah, orange tier. So it's
tough.
It's a bummer.
And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they're cutting some slack to restaurants right now because the holiday is coming up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they close restaurants altogether again after the holiday is over, because it's getting pretty crazy, and it's just unfortunately eating out is a luxury, and we don't really need to do it, even though I know we all want to. I mean, it's just it's really a tough situation because I'm not saying I'm the best quarantiner, but I feel like I have to change, honestly, pretty soon here. So and I'm not going to be surprised if the restaurants close all over again, all of them. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't want that happening.
So
This makes me sad. Like, it's just, I want things to like open because I want those people's jobs to be saved. So it's like a bummer. And then plus, like, this next month is going to be really hard because there's holidays after holidays. Like, there's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So, it's just like I feel like it's going to get worse because everybody wants to be with their families or wants to do something to celebrate the holidays, to go do, tree shopping or whatnot, Christmas shopping, sense of normalcy. And then it'll just spike back up in the beginning of the year. So I'm just really hoping, everybody, that we do our due diligence, and like just stay indoors, mask up, do your thing. It's for all of us, not just,
I think it's worth pointing out, too, that we've watched as this wave has gone up and down throughout the year multiple times, and we've hit that high point and then we fall again, and then we hit that high point and then we fall again. And this mixed in, I think, with all of the additional testing that's going on has certainly proven that more people have this. Fortunately, the death rate is falling, so that's a great plus. Like at least we're in, I think, out of the woods at least a little bit on that. Things were far worse at the beginning of the year when all this started out, but here we are in this situation where now the World Health Organization says, at the last possible stage, should you even consider shutting down again, we don't recommend that anymore. It's too devastating, and it's hurting too many people, and we've talked about it here before. The suicide rates are through the roof, and nobody seems to be referencing that. Going into the holidays, which notoriously has horrible suicide rates to begin with, this is only going to compound that. So the idea of restricting things all over again for the sake of let's shut down, I don't know how wise that is. If masks and social distancing seem to be the thing that works and the thing that experts tell us this is what you need to do, then it seems like restaurants were probably doing the right thing to begin with, and everybody was abiding by these rules, at least publicly, in terms of places that could govern it. We talk about Disney a lot and how Walt Disney World's done a tremendous job sort of governing all of these rules and doing things where no outbreaks have been attached to the parks, and nothing's been tied back to Walt Disney World or to Universal or to anything like that. So fortunately, we've watched as they've done the right thing, and I think that potentially the trust in businesses and the trust in your dining establishments and stuff like that, I mean, at some point I think that has to be given back to them. And if they're not abiding by the rules, send your strike teams or whatever you call them, California state government,
strike teams,
and figure it out and say, all right, you're not abiding by these rules. You're not doing what we said would help keep you and everybody else safe. So let's shut it down. Otherwise, this on again, off again, I don't know how anybody survives in this. This is a very dangerous game to keep playing. And I fear for people's mental health, and I fear for those people that are alone right now. There's a lot going on in the world that's very troubling. And I think that, perhaps especially this state, our governor should probably take a look at the other science on the other side and acknowledge at least a little bit of that too. We also want to touch on the fact that Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa is opening back up for Disney Vacation Club rentals. There will be no dining, no shopping, and as it turns out, just one pool available. We have talked previously when we first heard the news that it would be nice to have California Adventure, which, butts up to the Grand, sort of have that gate open so that you could maybe do a whole circle, between downtown Disney in through the Grand Californian and into Buena Vista Street. However, at second glance, I would imagine that potentially what they don't want to happen is that grand corridor to get too packed, especially given the fact that those walkways, especially right next to like Storytellers Cafe and going to the lobby, those are very narrow walkways.
It's very tight.
Yeah, so that could be a problem. But coming back for DVC with no dining or shopping in their own hotel, which, I think you should open it up for at least them.
I feel like they probably will. Like, I can't imagine being like, hey, spend all your points and stay at this hotel. Oh, wait, there's no dining. There's one pool. who knows if the lobby is going to be open for you to sit on the chairs. So
Right, yeah.
like even then it's like you can't have the rocking chair with the fireplace. So you can't do that either. No shopping, nothing. So it's like, come on, the least you can do is like open that gate just for those people, and they have to like either scan their key card so it actually is valid. They can't just show it, because anybody can just show a key card, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then like hide the dates or something. So if it like actually works or something, they'll figure it out, or wristbands or something, so they're able to like leisurely go in and out of Buena Vista Street. I think that's kind of fair, you know.
I think it'd be nice if they had the pool bar open. Just even the pool bar, you know, and like whitewater snacks. Well, they don't call it whitewater snacks anymore.
Yeah,
they changed the name. Can't remember what they changed the name to, but you know what I mean. The quick service and stuff.
For the DVC guests.
Yeah, for the DVC guests, you know, I'm not saying that they should let all the downtown Disney people in there, but I think that just at least having that pool bar or something, give a little bit more
that's
for.
kind of fair, right? Go get your breakfast. Like, how are they supposed to have breakfast?
And I'm guessing
Right.
it's still going to be. I'm guessing it's still going to be the equivalent of $700 to $900 a night at that place. Which, what are you staying there for if Disneyland is closed? I just.
Yeah, do you
stay
get
there. That's
expedited, expedited entry into downtown Disney? I mean, I just, other than staycations, I don't really know.
Like reservations to like restaurants or something, like some kind of priority access.
Yeah.
Like you got to give something. Like you just can't like be cooped up in your room the whole time and be like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm just supposed to just sit on the balcony and just watch people. And like, and then what? Sit in the pool with all these other people sitting in the pool.
Wave at people down below.
Yeah. Hello,
Hey,
peasants.
hey
Hi,
there, downtown
hello.
Disney.
Craftsman Grill, by the way. Thank you, God Alive.
That little restaurant next to the pool that they added. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that one, that's Craftsman Bar, I think, and then Craftsman Grill is what they renamed Whitewater Snacks.
So unnecessary.
It makes.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense because I'm used to Whitewater Snacks. But anyway.
Well, in other hotel news at the Disneyland Resort, turns out Disneyland Resort is no longer taking any hotel reservations for the rest of the year. It kind of became a game here on this show where every week we would tell you the update that we would receive from Disney saying, hey, for the next 2.5 to 3 weeks, reservations are not being accepted, and those that were booked are being canceled. However, unless you're a Disney Vacation Club guest, Disneyland Resort hotels are no longer taking any reservations as their theme park closures do remain in place, and so I guess they're just deciding there's really no reason to have reservations open. And if you were booked, a lot of people tend to visit Disneyland for the holidays. It's a big family tradition for many, and here they sit with no opportunity to go stay, no parks to go experience. However, if they wanted to, I guess, make a thing out of visiting downtown Disney and Buena Vista Street, I suppose they could, if they have a Disney Vacation Club membership or they know somebody that does.
It's true. I just think I'm glad that they stopped the reservation, because that was just so silly. Like, it's just extra man work, like calling these people saying, oh, hey, by the way, your reservation's canceled. Do you want to call us back so we can reschedule? And then send out mass emails saying, hey, this is what's happening. And then send out another mass email about, all that stuff. So I'm glad that they're doing it, but I mean, come on. If they just opened Disneyland Hotel and Steakhouse 55 and Trader Sam's, we'd go.
Yeah, I can't believe that
easy.
Trader Sam's hasn't been opened and expanded. And they even have those. I know they have bars that they can that are portable, and they could definitely make a big space, have a bunch of portable bars, and just. That place would be flying. I mean, there would be a ton of people there, which I guess is the problem. Yeah. but it's just incredible to me that every day we deal with these, and that's the thing though, right? Is we have these massive lines getting into downtown Disney and now Buena Vista Street and stuff like that. Is that really making things that much better? I mean, I just feel we need to get capacity somewhere, because the lines are just so crazy anyway that people are going to stand too close to each other probably regardless. So it's just I don't know. It's a tough call, I guess, but I just Yeah, that's all I got.
As we learned, a couple weeks ago when Buena Vista Street was being talked about as being officially reopened as a downtown Disney expansion, Disney made note that they had no plans to open up Main Street on Disneyland side for the sake of additional capacity. However, I think we've gone round and round with it. That's probably going to happen in the new year if they still can't open up their theme parks. I think that's just a given at this point, that they might not be willing to do it before the end of the year.
Sure.
I think they're definitely going to do it going into the new year, just because they do need that added capacity. They do need that movement, that ability to have more people in additional space for the sake of distancing everybody out. So I think we'll see it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I hope so.
And then because again, there's like more shops there, everybody can go shopping, and it can spread the wealth a little bit.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it'll be a bummer to not like go in there during Christmas, but like it's just extra stuff they don't need to decorate at the moment. So might as well just open it the new year so you don't have to decorate anything yet.
Although some people, some eagle-eyed visitors have caught some images of Disneyland gussied up, at least in the town square portion, with some Christmas attire.
Is that just for their like Christmas program?
I
or
think so.
something?
Yeah,
Is
the
that, like,
ABC
some, like, stage thing,
yeah.
being like, oh, these celebrities without masks on doing their production, and like Derek Huff and Julianne Huff dancing around Main Street and making me feel sad because I'm not
I know,
there
right?
anyway.
I was gonna say, like, it's just rubbing that in our faces at this point. It's like, oh, all these celebrities get to go in, but you can't come.
Yeah, not for you.
Yeah, it's only for the A-list.
Oh.
I think you're A-list.
I
Oh,
thought we
thank
were
you.
the power couple.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
well,
They forgot to invite you.
we're in all.
That's true.
We're
Our
we're,
invitation got lost in the middle.
That's what it was.
yeah, I think you're right. I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, in big news, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse celebrated their 92nd birthday this past
And
week.
they still look beautiful.
They look darn good, don't they? And one of the nice things that came along with that was unexpected, and that was this refurbishment, restoration of not only the partner statue, that statue of Walt and Mickey Mouse in the center of Disneyland, right in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle, but also the Walt and Mickey statue over at California Adventure got restored. A very nice sort of tribute to not only the mouse, but the man on Mickey's birthday of all days, to be able to say that they're doing this in the middle of being closed, essentially, and knowing that they're spending money on these things and upkeep so that everything still looks good. And two statues, one of which people can now see on Buena Vista Street, but the other one, the iconic one in Disneyland, people still cannot see. But getting restored, getting gussied up, and ensuring that both are shining like never before. That's pretty darn nice to know that Disney is still finding money somehow to make sure that these sort of symbolic and iconic emblems of the park are taken care of.
It's like no better time than the present, because obviously no one was able to walk around and so they're able to like have 3 nice days to actually like clean it, finish it, and get all that stuff like the patina and stuff on it. So
Yeah, and by the time we get to see it, it'll need another restoration.
I know, but it's still like nice to know. But I'm sure like other things got cut for that to happen, because they're just like, here are the things that are happening in the pipeline. What can we afford now if we cut something else out, and then what can we do because the parks are closed?
Right.
So they probably chose that one out of the hat, and they're like, might as well.
I
And
mean,
then the symbolic, obviously it was the birthday and stuff too, but I'm sure it just happened down the pipeline being like, this was affordable. So no more Avengers Campus, everybody.
Cut.
It's gone.
It looked like
No
it wasn't
more
going to be that
chicken
good anyway.
sandwiches. It's gone.
we gave up on every other capital project just to restore these statues, so it's about saving pennies at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
It's funny because the partner statue has been there for so long now that I forget sometimes that the park didn't always have it,
Right. It does. It feels like it's always been a part of the park. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
it's just like, oh, that's been there forever, right? And then you find out, oh no, they built that in like, what was it, the early 90s or something like that.
Came along as a great tribute to Walt himself, and a wonderful way in which to honor not only his legacy, but Mickey himself. And the iconic partner statue in Disneyland is something sort of as a part 2 to what you see over on Buena Vista Street at California Adventure. That one in California Adventure is considered a part 1. So when you see Walt standing there with Mickey and the luggage, it's like the stepping off point to California as Walt arrives for the first time.
Suitcase and a dream.
Suitcase and a dream, ready to make his dreams come true. And then Disneyland is the result of that. And that's why Walt looks so different as a statue in California Adventure. He's younger. And you see him much older over in Disneyland after he's made his dreams come true and accomplished so much. So great stories behind both of them, and a wonderful tie-in, between both parks. And that partner statue has been replicated in so many Disney parks around the world. So everybody gets the gift. We just get ours
true.
restored first. Huh?
Yeah.
Is Roy and Minnie gonna have theirs little like restored too?
I know,
'Cause
right?
people
Oh, yeah.
sit and touch it all the time.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was
That
gonna say I actually
yeah.
like that one a lot. I
really
do
cute.
like the Roy and Minnie bench over in Disney World and Magic Kingdom.
Yeah,
It's
being
nice.
able to walk up to it, I think being able to see something at eye level, whereas, California Adventure, I guess, has that to
Yeah.
a certain degree. But, at Disneyland, they're elevated. Walt and Mickey are. They're up above you looking down Main Street, whereas Roy and Minnie, that is such a nice, because you can sit right next to them. It's such a nice little intimate statue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Very special.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get their TLC too.
Yeah.
Yeah, can only hope.
No more Tron coaster.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Again, it's all about routing the expenses. It's a hard time for everyone. Well, my friends, you stick around. More Kingdom Report Live for you next.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom team today, the influential legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Garrett on the go time. Walt Disney World reporter Gared Hassel standing by for us in sunny or perhaps cloudy Orlando. Garrett, where are you? What's happening?
I am not at a Disney theme park for the first time in over a year of us doing the show. I am here in Disney Springs, and behind me, why, that's a Christmas tree.
What?
And Disney Springs is ready for the holidays.
Ah,
Wow.
so pretty.
But Kevin McAllister always told me there were no Christmas trees in Florida.
I heard that too. Got to decorate a palm tree.
Listen, well, the palm trees are decorated as well. Look at they've got lights on them. They're not lit up right now. It's a little rainy, but Kevin McAllister, I love you, my friend, but we've got everything here. We've got fake palm trees. We've got real palm trees and we have fake pine trees. I don't know what kind of tree that is. I'm gonna guess it's a Disney pine. Out of
Or a
the
Douglas fir,
lovely
either one.
Douglas fir. I don't know trees, so hopefully, if anyone in the comments knows trees, be sure to let me know so I can learn from it. But good to see you guys. I've missed you guys, and the holidays are in full swing. What's up? Yeah. These fans everywhere I go.
Mobbed.
They love you.
You're the man. Hey, tell us, when it comes to Christmas trees and like the Christmas tree trail at Disney Springs, that made a comeback this year, just a little different, right?
Yes, it did. The other night I actually came out here and I ventured out at nighttime, now that things are open out at night again.
Dangerous.
And the Christmas tree trailer that they used to have, I believe it was 26 trees all crammed in the area where the Ubers and Lyfts and pickups happen over on the far side of Disney Springs, down by where the Days of Christmas Disney store is. And this year, because of social distancing, they've spaced them out. There are 12 trees, and I think that is in accordance with there being 12 days of Christmas. The one behind me is actually the Disney Springs themed tree, and there are 11 other ones that are themed to a different aspect of the Disney lifestyle, whether it's the Disney parks, movies, attractions, or individual characters or shorts. So you're going to have to come and explore it yourself. It really is quite magical. And while I was doing it, if you go to certain locations, whether any Disney owned and operated store, they usually have a map that you can get. I don't have mine on me. I left it at home. Apologies. And inside of it, they have a map of where all the trees are located. So that way you can't just be like, okay, I've been walking around in circles for hours. It actually tells you where it is along with the geographic location inside Disney Springs. And to make it even better, there are stickers that get to go with every tree. You got to put the sticker on the tree, and that's how you know you've done it. And by golly, I did. I got all 12. It only took me about 7 hours. Got a little backtrack. Somehow I ended up at Saratoga Springs. Don't know how. And
Wow.
What a walk.
Yeah, and then quite. And then Old Key West popped up there somewhere, and then I did a round of golf. It was quite an ordeal, but you're gonna have to check out that vlog when that is uploaded. But it was a heck of a time. Along with that, there are lovely decorations all around. There's garland, lights. There's giant ornaments everywhere. Let me see if I can find a giant ornament real fast. We're going over here. We're going on that adventure, everyone.
It's so
This
live.
is how we know it's. Yeah. See, they have giant ornaments out and about. They.
Oh,
Well,
my.
that's a heck of a big ornament right there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Very
sorry.
nice.
Disney's Wi-Fi still hasn't gotten my bill.
Yeah,
Like, I
don't
keep
don't
paying
steer
them,
too
I'm saying,
far.
Hey, can you? Yeah, but it's good to see that Disney Springs is in full swing for the holiday season, and the guests are enjoying it as well. All the guests, you got people taking photos left and right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Oh, yeah.
there's a snow zone in Disney Springs, right?
Yes, I am actually in the snow zone, or the Snope, SNOAP. At night, like you see the banister around this tree here, Snope will dispense in Snope. And for those that do not know what Snope is, it is Disney's way of bringing snow to areas that do not have snow. It is snow made from
No, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
That's right. Yeah. How dare
It's
you?
snow. It's just Elsa's snow. It's Elsa's excretions.
It's snow. It's just a different kind of snow. You know, here in Florida, you know, our mountains are kind of different.
Right.
They're like, we have out here in Florida, we have Mount Everest, we have mountains from Big Thunder, we have a mountain that splashes people, we have a mountain from space, we have all kinds of mountains. So our snow is a little weird out here. So come on out to Florida and experience the weird snow.
How
we all have.
perfect. Oh, I must get snowed on while I am there.
I feel like I'm in an infomercial.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
experiencing snow.
I mean, between you and the giant ornaments, it does feel like an infomercial. Well, we hear through the grapevine that some Disney theme park ticket options are about to change. What on earth is going on out there in terms of being able to park hop again?
So, beginning January 1st, 2021, a brand new aspect of the Disney reservation system has come back, and that is the Park Hopper option. What that means is I'm going to take you through the step that's very simple. So, beginning in the new year, which I think everyone's looking forward to, first and foremost, you must have a theme park ticket. You must have a theme park ticket and a reservation for any of the 4 theme parks here at Walt Disney World. If you are an annual pass holder, then you don't need to have any sort of special ticket. Your annual pass does everything. But if you are a visiting guest, I believe that they will have a ticket where you can either be like, oh, I want a normal 1 park ticket, or I want the Park Hopper ticket like they used to have in the past. Then after having that reservation, you go to that first park that you booked. So for this example, I want to say that I went to Magic Kingdom in the morning and I'm having a great time, but man, I really want to experience more magic because I've already done Seven Doors Mine Train 7 times and I just can't do it anymore. So you think, hey, after 2 p.m., if there is another theme park that is not full of reservations, you can go to it after 2 p.m. and not have to make another reservation. So you're at Magic Kingdom, you've done everything, and then you're like, man, I want to enjoy an evening at Epcot. I want to dine under the stars in Italy, or I want to go have some lovely sushi in Japan, or I just want to get some dang good barbecue at the American Pavilion. I know that is Tyler, Katrina, and Wade. I think it's all of our favorite. It's all our favorite.
I do like the barbecue.
true.
Regal Eagle's pretty good.
Sam Eagle knows what it's all about, Muppets. But after 2 p.m., you can go to that park as long as the reservations are not filled out. So there is a sort of a bad side to this, and that is, don't think about going into Hollywood Studios after 2 p.m. That's more than likely not going to happen at all. I would love to be able to experience that at night, but that probably is not going to be likely just because Hollywood Studios pretty much gets booked out every single day. So if my advice to all the folks listening, gather around. If you want to go to Hollywood Studios and Park Hop, get the Hollywood Studios reservation. Go on Rise of Resistance if you can get it within 3 seconds. And then in the evening, go enjoy Magic Kingdom. Go enjoy Epcot. What's up? How's it going?
Silly
And
people.
yes.
You're so
And
popular.
that's pretty much. I know. I got a haircut. That's probably why. I got a haircut.
Yeah.
It's all about the hair.
But I hope that was easy enough to explain. First, buy a ticket. Second, make your reservation. Third, go to that park after 2 p.m. if the other theme parks are not completely full, and that is at this 35% capacity that Chapek and the Disney leadership have stated that Disney is operating at. Then you can go to said park and enjoy it. So,
well, if I could jump in here, we do have an update from Disney when it comes to managing that attendance from spot to spot. They do say, because I think a lot of people would want to jump from one park to another, in particular Hollywood Studios, as you mentioned, mainly for Rise of the Resistance, that new mega attraction that everybody wants to ride. They say in their press release, and to help us manage attendance upon the return of the Park Hopper option in January, only guests with a Disney Park Pass reservation for Disney's Hollywood Studios will be able to experience Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Guests visiting from another theme park will not be able to request to join the virtual queue. So it sounds like you have to have already booked Hollywood Studios for the day in order to obtain your boarding pass to get on Rise of the Resistance. If you hop over at 2 p.m., I think the window is even gone at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be able to get
do it.
inside
Yeah.
the door at 2 p.m. and get a pass at that point.
Yeah.
So it'd be pointless.
Oh, lots of things to know there. I also understand, Garrett, that when it comes to food in Disney World, more options are coming online. Is that right?
Yes, I'm a foodie. As you know, I don't really eat in the parks much, but I'm always excited that there is food there nonetheless. And there are a couple of food options coming back. Beginning on November 25th, which is in a few days. Also, it happens to be my girlfriend Ariel's birthday. Happy birthday, my love.
Hey.
They are going to be bringing back Woody's Lunchbox out in Hollywood Studios. This is right across from Slinky Dog Dash. It's very hard to get into Hollywood Studios. After going there a while, you sometimes forget what it's like to enjoy Hollywood Studios. But yeah, Woody's Lunchbox is going to be reopening, and it's going to be quite spectacular. Down there, they have some American-type food, sandwiches, tater tots. Tater tots aren't half bad.
Potato barrels?
Potato barrels, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I don't eat in the parks very much. However, I hear
But you're a
you guys
foodie.
are coming out real soon.
Makes
Yes,
a lot of sense,
I'm
right?
I'm a foodie when people are buying food for me.
Ah.
I see.
The second one is everyone's favorite place for Friendship Day. That is Crystal Palace. December 13th, Crystal Palace is coming back. However, there will not be any character dining experiences just yet. Pooh Bear and the Friends, they're trying to stay safe, and they just, they want to make sure you have a good time. So the way they're going to be doing it in the past, Crystal Palace was a buffet style where you just go up, grab your mountains of food, and you just enjoy it, and you wave at all the characters as they come by. This time it's going to be family dining, which you may have experienced at other places, or like how Wade experienced when he did his Disney World and Pandemic review. So you will order like, oh, I want eggs. They'll bring you a mountain of eggs that you can enjoy. If you want to get to Gaston size, 5 dozen eggs. 5 dozen.
Yeah, say it
baby.
right. You're a foodie, after all.
Yeah.
And you love Gaston, too.
Sorry,
so.
yeah, I can't really. But and then after that, on the 17th, the Tomorrowland Terrace, which I've never been able to eat at, mainly because it's either closed or I've just never gone there.
Right.
The Tomorrowland Terrace is going to be reopening, but they're not going to be serving any Tomorrowland type food. They're actually going to be serving the food that you'd find over at the Columbia Harbor House over in Liberty Square. So you
It's not
can
interesting.
find some grilled salmon. Yeah, it's a weird twist. Maybe it's fish from the future.
Get
But
your
you can
lobster
get
roll at Tomorrowland Terrace now.
Doesn't make any sense.
Nothing sounds like the future quite like a lobster roll. But you can get chicken nuggets, you can get salmon, you can get New England clam chowder in the
That
future.
sounds like the future,
in
yeah.
the world of tomorrow, and you can get your lobster roll. I think I'm gonna go just to try lobster roll because I love lobster roll, but I'm also worried because it's quick service food and beverage lobster roll. So hopefully I don't get sick. Oh,
Yeah.
I have a new friend. Would you like to meet my friend?
Oh, okay.
Is it a duck?
It's a
Oh,
Disney
duck.
security doggy.
Oh, how precious.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
Okay, so sorry, the fluffy animal that protects us all distracted me for a second. But lots of food coming back.
Pluto's
and
best friend.
Pluto's best friend. That is indeed true.
Am I the only one
Yeah,
that's
food
worried that little corner is just going to reek of fish now? Like, that's what I'm worried
Yeah,
about.
probably. Yeah, Tomorrowland Terrace, for anybody that doesn't know, is really, it's like in an alcove, basically, in the corner of just off of the right side of Main Street. It's like back behind a bunch of seating area and a bunch of sort of canal space, and it's never open until there is a crowd that kind of demands that it be open. So it's been used like as a flex space for like the last 10 years, where it only opens up if there's crazy crowding and they need it.
Put the dessert parties?
They use it for the dessert parties too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
And right now, it's being used as a relaxation station.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, are they still going to have part relaxation station and part that's not? But if you don't know where it is, if you know where the purple wall is, Disney's famed purple wall at Magic Kingdom, if you're an Instagrammer, it's right over there. You can't miss it. It's a big purple wall, and it's purple.
And it's purple.
Wall.
And speaking of more food, it sounds like Epcot has something new on the way that just got revealed. What should we know out at Epcot?
That is true. So, for any of you Italian lovers out there, over in the Italian Pavilion at Epcot, La Gelateria, I hopefully pronounced that right. Katrina, please fix me. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Fix him.
Fix him,
Katrina.
The gelateria.
There you
okay,
go.
Yeah, thank you, Katrina. That is going to be coming to Epcot's Italian Pavilion. It is right next to the gift shop out by the front of it. And if you do not know, it sounds awfully like gelato. So hopefully there is going to be some amazing
Wow.
gelato
You got it.
in Italy.
That's right.
Go Garrett. I'm a little bit.
You think that's what they were going for?
Impressive, Garrett.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
I hope so.
That's
Or-
what the stores
I
that
hope
sell
so.
gelato are
Or
called.
oddly coincidental? I don't know.
Yeah, it is very strange that it would be called that.
I think it'll be great
Yeah.
to see a gelato option, especially along that main pathway. Italy has become known for several different food options back in Italy now. So nice to see that they're using the space right up in front of Italy, kind of almost extending Italy out a little
'Cause I
bit.
feel like there's like nothing really there besides like a cart
Yeah.
that sells wine, and then that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they have. Like I'm kind of stoked
They
because I
used
want
to
some
have a
Sicilian
performer
lemon.
back there, but that's no longer happening.
Maybe one day soon.
Speaking of,
See, I thought that'd be a great area for there to be, like Pinocchio and Geppetto, like
Sure.
Yeah, all that. Hey, but if you like pizza, Viennapoli is the place to go. That pizza is bomb. I will spend money on that I can't afford.
He's a foodie.
Yeah.
We've learned this.
But speaking of Epcot and park hopping, do you think they're going to reopen the Epcot monorail now?
Ooh.
Yeah, park hopping really does open that up.
He's thinking.
I could see it happen. I could see it happening because this then builds the demand for the guests staying at the Polynesian, Contemporary, and Grand Floridian. If they want to get a way of getting to Epcot, they now have the monorail system. So fingers crossed. I always like that ride. It's a very peaceful ride, maybe 5-10 minutes to get there, and then you get to go through Epcot.
Yeah.
I love that monorail ride.
I
I've
feel
only
like
done
it's
it a couple times, but every time I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like it's the one kind of path that the monorail takes that like makes the monorail seem like viable transportation. Like, does that make sense? Like, it actually feels like, oh no, yeah, a monorail works. Like, whereas the other ones are all kind of like small areas, especially the Disneyland one is just kind of more of a ride than anything. But the ride to Epcot always feels like, oh no, this is transportation now.
Yeah, riding along the Disney freeways and stuff
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
It's such a cool feeling.
You need to like pass over the transportation area so you can see how busy it is when you're like, oh boy.
Yeah,
it's
pretty darn
crazy.
sweet.
The line to get inside Magic Kingdom from the parking structure. It's like, oh, yeah.
Glad I'm in the monorail.
I'm so glad I'm just flying above you guys.
That's
Hey.
right. Well, hey, Gared, in the other big news for the season, it sounds like Disney has acknowledged that perhaps they're reaching a capacity point for park reservations. Is that right?
Yes, indeed. So, as we all know, Disney World has increased the park capacity to 35%. Now, we don't know exactly what that number is for each park because Disney has never listed what like a 100% capacity is. But through the end of the year, 77% of the park reservations have been taken. They are all booked out. And that means, hey, Disney is going to be quite busy during the holiday season. So expect there to be longer lines if you're going there, and just expect there to be more people in general. So it's always important. Stay safe. Wear a mask. You have to if you're going to Disney. It's required. It's not an option anymore. It never was. And yeah, it's going to be quite busy, especially through Thanksgiving this week. Most places are booked out. Hollywood Studios has been gone for, I think, over 2 months now. I keep checking, and no Hollywood Studios for me. Hopefully I can
Count yourself
catch
lucky.
a lucky break. Yeah. I want to go back there because like I love going on rides. That's always fun, and I do want to see the Christmas decorations at Hollywood Studios, but the parks are booked out. And folks, I've said it before, I will say it again. Please do not go to Magic Kingdom on Christmas Day thinking you're going to be in the Christmas Day parade filming, because that has either happened or isn't happening. I don't think it's happening this year at all, just because of everything going on.
Yeah, we have recognized that in the past where, unfortunately, a lot of people will see the Disney Parks Christmas Day Parade on ABC, and then they come rushing out to the Magic Kingdom, either in Disney World, or they try to rush out to Disneyland's Magic Kingdom, and come to find that there ain't no parade, there ain't no ABC show going on. I mean, they filmed this well in advance. So good looking out for all of the public there, Garrett. And 35%, last month, Tyler, you were out at Walt Disney World, and we had been speculating for a while that the 25% original capacity cap that Disney World had on their attendance, we had been sort of in a position where we were thinking, it doesn't feel like it anymore. It doesn't feel like it anymore. And then you went. How did you feel?
I didn't feel like it. Felt like, yeah, the minimum could have been 35% at that point, even though they were still saying 25. Mm-hmm. And I even talked with like a guest services cast member, and she was just straight up like, because I was like, you've been working, how does it feel to you? Is it still 25%? And she's like, no way. She was like, no way. Like, so
There's no way. They're expanding hours, and they're expanding restaurants. Of course they like let in more people slipping in.
Yeah, if even a guest services cast member is saying that and just being straight up with me of like, like, because she was just like, no, it's like way more crowded now than it has been. And maybe that just is due to like more people actually following through and coming to their park reservation. Who knows what the reasons are, but it seemed like it was just a higher capacity than they were pretending it was, unfortunately. Hopefully, we got a trip coming up pretty soon here. Hopefully,
yeah, all of us are going to be out there at the same time for Thanksgiving
crazy.
week, and lots of things to see, and we'll determine for ourselves whether or not that capacity is really something that can be handled right now.
Yep.
Garrett, any parting thoughts?
Yes. So Epcot's my favorite park at Walt Disney World, if you did not know. And recently, Disney's released a lot of news regarding some wonderful things. The Harmonious Barges. Harmonious is going to be the new fireworks spectacular sometime that Epcot is having. It replaced the old show Illuminations, which was amazing, and the one before that, Epcot Forever. We can forget about that garbage. And
wow,
they have built these. Yeah, I know.
But I thought it was forever.
Yeah. Apparently not. And they have these new barges, and they are massive works of engineering ingenuity. And Disney has stated that there are 5 barges. There are 4, I guess we'll call them support barges, and then you have the main one. They're going to be in the middle of World Showcase Lagoon, I guess. World Showcase Lagoon? Yeah. And during the day, they're
your favorite
going
park.
to be yes. Hey. They are going to be full-time fountains where it's just water going all day. There's not going to be any spectacular water show like some have. Yes, it's just going to be fountains all day long. And I think it's going to be a nice centerpiece to have in that lagoon where people can see around and just see how massive they are. And if you're thinking like, oh, barges are usually small. No, hello there. These barges are going to be massive where when they do have the effects, some of them are going to have 54-foot arms that shoot out lasers. And then the main center barge is over 6 stories tall. And it's just a feat of Imagineering. So can't wait to see that when that actually happens. But that's all I have in my neck of the woods. Back to you.
We appreciate you joining us, Garrett. We will be out there later this week, and we'll be joining you hand in hand, arm in arm, but socially distanced, of course. So we can't wait to see you.
Don't touch my hands, please. I don't want to hold your hand.
No.
No. I want
sure?
piggyback rides. Piggyback rides.
It's not distanced enough for me. I need to be at least 50 feet away from you at all times, I think. And, we'll call out to each other from a distance. It'll be great.
All right. You'll be on one side. I'll be on the other side. And that would be perfect.
Perfect. All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you. We will see you real soon.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. My friends, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up wherever you are watching, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's our YouTube page, or if you are listening to us, make sure to rate and review. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast. And we have plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you straight ahead. Stick with us.
Hey Kingdom team, do you need more magic in your life? We understand, which is why we connect you to more of what makes you happy 3 times a week. Catch our theme park coverage, vlogs, and reviews every Tuesday and Thursday. And experience the Kingdom Report Live, streaming every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. That's new content every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, crafted with you in mind. Don't miss out. Be sure to subscribe and activate notifications at The Kingdom Report on YouTube. And catch every update throughout the week at Kingdom Report Live on social media. See you there!
Kingdom Team All Call Time. Questions and answers. This is what this segment is all about. And certainly you can send your questions to us over at kingdomreportlive.com by filling out the form you see there. Or you can leave it in the comments down below if you're watching us on YouTube or via Facebook Live. Or you can send it to us many ways. So make sure that if you have questions for us, you direct them on over so that we can answer them in a future segment. In today's Q&A, All Call question number 1 comes to us from Figment Matters 81. And they ask, since Disney World canceled so many shows and laid off performers, how long do you think it will be before new shows arrive at the parks? Something very interesting about this question that I'd like to point out before we answer that is Walt Disney World former president and current Disney Parks chairman, Josh D'Amaro, who was at the helm of a lot of these cuts, along with Bob Chapek and the Disney leadership team. It turns out that he mentioned in a call with, there was a press call here about a week and a half ago, and he got asked about the entertainment at Walt Disney World. And while they eliminated about 700 performers, and we've talked about that in long form, and a lot of the various shows around the property, he did acknowledge that the plan is to bring back this entertainment, is to in some way, somehow bring back these various shows. And I think that when, it comes down to what you can experience in Walt Disney World, to assume that something like Festival of the Lion King at Animal Kingdom was not going to return, I think would have been a terrible oversight. I think would have been a terrible thing to think, because that is one of the greatest shows they've ever produced and continues to live on to sold out crowds, all the way up until this pandemic started. So I'm really happy to hear that the plan is to bring them back. He didn't elaborate on it. He just kind of mentioned it in passing during this meeting. But what do you guys think? How long before you see any sort of new shows start to appear?
Yeah, I mean, I think by and large, just it's going to be a long time for a lot of new shows. But then you got to remember too that, like, especially like when California Adventure reopens and they open Avengers Campus, they already have a show slated for that. Like, there's going to be like a little stunt performance over there. So, and who knows how long that show is going to be or what it's going to entail. But so we know there's going to be something new in that regard. But I think, the first plan, like Wade was just saying, is going to be to bring back all of the things that we've lost at this point. That's going to be the first way they go with it, because obviously they're going to be a company that doesn't have a bunch of walking around money right at this point, and they're going to be kind of not wanting to spend money on new properties and new things like that. They're going to just want to bring back the things that they've already built.
Sure, yeah. Tried and true, and things that they already have in place. What do you think, Katrina?
I think that what they said was a very executive answer, very vague, because of course they want to please people and saying, of course they're going to come back. Who knows how long and when, it could be like a year, it could be 2 years.
Yeah.
And then even then when they bring it back, a lot of those performers that were original are probably not going to come back.
Sure.
So even that,
you got to get a job at some point, right?
I mean, you can't really hold out hope for so long. So then they would have to go through rehiring and stuff, all these people and these performers. So, it's probably going to be years. Honestly, they might start like small and like get like a couple of the shows by next year, but then like not all of them are going to come back. I can't believe by the end of next year.
No, they're gonna trickle in. Like, it's not gonna be something where it's like, oh, they all come back on the same day. Like, oh, now every show is back. It's gonna be like, oh,
October
now
1st.
yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, today we're opening Little Mermaid, and then next, like a month from then or so, it's gonna be like Indiana Jones, or it's just gonna trickle in. I don't think it's gonna be like,
I feel like
all
probably
at
their
once.
first show is going to be like summer
Yeah.
of next year to like
Hopefully.
ease up the capacity a little bit here and there, and then maybe it'll trickle in, maybe like 2 or 3. But
I mean, it seems like their plan is to keep on raising capacities very slowly, and if they're going to keep on doing that, especially in a park like Hollywood Studios, like we've talked about numerous times on this show, they need to open those shows up, because there's no space in that park for very much fun. And that's why, honestly, it's really not park hopping I think is really going to be best if you're going to spend your morning at Hollywood Studios. I think that's really the best way to enjoy park hopping at this point, because there ain't much to do at Hollywood Studios except for wait in line at this point. So.
Yeah, no kidding. And Garrett, our Walt Disney World reporter, he's standing by in Walt Disney World at the moment. What do you think when it comes to this question, Garrett? Do you imagine new shows will be premiering anytime soon or down the line out in Florida?
Well, first and foremost, Figment, great question. I love your attraction, but I do not foresee any new shows coming. I think the best thing to do is bring back what you can, because when you do a new show, that's so much more money versus when you revive a show, you already have everything built in place. The shows that will come back first are going to be the ones where Disney can control the crowds and control the seating. That's going to be the indoor ones, such as Finding Nemo, Festival of the Lion King, Indiana Jones, Please Not Little Mermaid. Probably Little Mermaid. I'm not a fan of it though. But I can't. But for those wondering, like, oh, is like Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair going to come back right away? Probably not. That's probably going to be one of the last ones, just because even when things are normal, even on slow day, everyone packs the stage because they want to get up close and personal with Mickey and the gang. So it's going to be areas where they can control the seating arrangement and make sure everyone is spaced out 6 feet. They brought back Frozen, the Frozen sing-along. So hopefully they bring back Beauty and the Beast next, because that's one of my favorite shows out of Disney World.
Yeah, no, it would be really cool to see any number of shows come back online, period. And I know that there was a lot of concern when, it comes down to the idea of like, all right, how far do we space people? And is a theater even big enough to do this logistically where it makes a difference, in adding a show and adding an opportunity for crowds to come in and watch something. So definitely think that we're a ways away, probably several months away before we see anything new. I think much to what everybody else has said, the idea that they're going to be reinstalling things that already existed, especially hearing from Josh tomorrow say something similar. That is probably far more likely, other than some seasonal entertainment here and there, which they're known to do, sprinkling some of that seasonal stuff.
I feel like I did hear too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, is that the current fireworks show at Magic Kingdom was kind of supposed to be like more of a temporary show.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And so they may have something in the wings for like a new fireworks show at some point, especially maybe like maybe when they bring the fireworks back, they'll do kind of a toned down fireworks show or something like that.
They did do testing.
Yeah, they have done testing recently. So could be something like that. But yeah, by and large, mostly the old stuff's coming back.
Well, let us know in the comments down below if you're somebody that feels there might be some new shows on the horizon, or if you're looking forward to any number of shows that have been cut returning in the near future. All right, next All Call question comes to us from Old Buzzy. And Old Buzzy asks us, what are some of the things you are most thankful for when it comes to Disney parks in 2020? As we are here on Thanksgiving week, the cusp of Thanksgiving week, and enjoying ourselves some holiday time is a great question. What are you most thankful for Disney parks in 2020 is a very unique question, given the fact that for several months, Walt Disney World was closed down and the theme parks were closed down globally. Disneyland theme parks still closed at this time as we speak. So what are some of the things that you would say you're most thankful for, Katrina?
That's a really good question. Okay, honestly, I'm happy that the parks are open to give jobs to everybody. That's been like probably like the toughest for everybody that has been close to like people that we know that work at Disney parks in Florida and in California. So I am thankful that the parks are kind of. I mean, Disneyland, not really, but at least, like, you know, there's jobs available, and then Disney World, it's open, so the jobs that are there for people. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously that's the first one I got to lead with. I mean, I agree with you on that. It's nice that people just have a place to work again. I mean, more selfishly, I'm happy Carthay Circle just opened again. I'm stoked. So I'm going to be going there as soon as I can. We weren't able to go because Katrina has her day job, and then just we've got stuff to do. We've got this show to do and things like that. So we haven't been able to go to Carthay yet. But when I get there, man, it's going to be a heck of a day.
Yeah.
Sidecars, keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. You bet.
I'm stoked. I want to try that lamb. That's a new dish that looks really good to me.
I drooled over some Instagram pictures. I'm not going to lie.
Oh.
They looked pretty yummy.
My goodness. Well, we'll jump out to our Walt Disney World reporter on that note. Gared Hassel standing by for us. What are some of the things you're most thankful for when it comes to Disney parks in 2020?
The first thing I'm most thankful for are the cast members. They make Disney what it is. It's not Disney without the cast members. They work tirelessly. It's hard work, and they put their heart and soul into everything. So to any cast members watching, or past, present, future cast members, thank you all for what you do, because even though you're telling people wear your mask and everything, and people are like, thank you so much, because you are the ones that keep the magic going. You keep the magic alive with your spirit, and I'm so thankful to have been a cast member, and I really appreciate all of them. But another thing I'm thankful for, it's definitely something selfish on my end, is I'm just happy that the parks are open again, because I can go whenever I want, because I live 5 minutes from the parks.
Well, la-ti-da.
I'm sorry that you live a couple thousand miles away, but it's nice to have the parks open and to have a sense of normalcy again, even though it's not all normal. But going to the parks was something I got to do all the time beforehand, and it's nice to be able to do it again. Granted, now I have to reserve the time I want to go. In the past, I used to get off work and be like, hey, let's go to Epcot. Cool. Now I got to plan in advance, but still, I'm thankful that the parks are open again, because they could easily have done, all right, we're closing everything until this whole thing blows over. But thank you to Disney leadership and the cast members for keeping the magic alive and giving me a place to go when I need something to do and something to film, because without the Disney parks open, I'm out of a job, and yeah.
Well, we appreciate that too, and I think to touch on that, as well as what you guys have said, when you think about Disney parks and you think about the impact that cast members have, I am so incredibly thankful for I think this bizarre situation that has led to a bit of a hospitable reset. It's no secret that leading up to the shutdown and the pandemic and everything that was going on, Walt Disney World and Disneyland theme parks were just oversaturated. There was so much happening. There were so many people there. It's a good problem to have for Disney because the demand was so high. But I think what happened coming out of this shutdown and going through this pandemic process, if there is a silver lining to be had at all, and I'm not downplaying the severity and the tragedy of the pandemic, but I think what this has done is this has pushed a company that has long felt like they are probably invincible up against a wall, and has pushed them into a category where they've had to reconsider everything that's important to them and everything that is a profit and revenue generating outlet for them, a revenue generating center. They relied so heavily on the theme parks. They've relied so heavily on film, and they've learned that those things take people going out in public to sustain. During this time, we've noticed that not only have there been a lot of layoffs and a lot of furloughs, which have been truly horrible, but we've noticed that the people that have been brought back, that the cast members who have been brought back online, have just this newfound attitude of hospitality and graciousness, the likes of which I haven't seen. It's been a long time. It used to be said over and over again that Disney service is world-renowned, personal service. It's top of the line. And for many years, we stopped hearing that. It stopped being a sell point for a lot of what Disney was doing. And there are a number of reasons as to why that was. But as somebody who spent many years working for the Disneyland Resort and working with cast members and frontline people, I think, if anything, this has helped refocus everybody on what's truly important, and that is these person-to-person connections that cast members make. I am so grateful, because if this has shown anything, it has shown the power that a Disney cast member has to affect people's lives. It has shown the power that these people that wear these name tags have to bring joy to others. And in a year that has been so plagued with awful things and so dark and so darn awful in general, to know that cast members out there who are back in these roles and who are back making magic, to know how important their job is something I'm so thankful for, because this, I think, has brought so many of them a realization as to just how big of a role they play in people's happiness in general. And without Disney right now, without these Disney theme parks, there isn't a whole lot of joy going on, that you can point to. There isn't a whole lot of places you can even go to experience that happiness and that joy level. So wonderful to see that these cast members are not only making this tremendous impact on everyone as we march towards Thanksgiving, but also to know that so many of them kind of found a new purpose in the job all over again, and that is to connect with people and really hold on to that legacy of Walt Disney. So we want to thank you for your question and wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. All right, that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this week. Programming notes, we will all be in Walt Disney World next week, so no live show next week, unfortunately, so we apologize for that, but there's going to be so many videos coming your way on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel, as well as next Saturday. There will be a video in this time slot, so you can look forward to that. Lots of things that we will be covering still, so look forward to all of the coverage. It doesn't go away just because we're in Walt Disney World. In fact, more of it comes your way, so you can anticipate that. Tyler, Katrina, any closing notes?
No, happy holidays, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great time. Be safe. Enjoy your loved ones from afar if you have to, but just I hope everybody has a good time regardless. That's all we can hope for.
Hear, hear. Yeah. Have a good time. Yeah. And Garrett, any last words from Orlando?
Of course, I always have last words. I haven't been on the camera in a while, so I have to soak up the moment for a little bit. First and foremost, happy holidays, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. Even though I can't see you, I feel your energy. Happy Thanksgiving, and to Ariel, my love, happy birthday. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to celebrate with you. I got you some amazing gifts, but can't tell you about them just yet. You'll have to see them when I see you. So happy birthday to Ariel, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you wonderful people out there.
Happy birthday, Ariel!
Yay! Does she know that you hate her show?
Whoa.
I hate her show?
Yeah. You said The Little Mermaid. You hated it.
Oh, yeah. No, she doesn't like that show either, actually.
Oh,
okay. All
she
right.
doesn't like her own show.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're supporting
no,
her. Got it.
The movie is phenomenal, but that show, after I took her to Disneyland and showed her the Aladdin show at the Hyperion, she was like, "Oh man, this is so much better."
Yeah, that's definitely true.
It's so much better. Yeah. So happy birthday, Ariel, and we all don't like your show.
Some people, Kurt always liked it.
That's
Producer Curt. He likes it.
He especially loved the part where the water was dripping on him the whole time.
Yeah, the
right?
leaky pipe.
Yeah.
Dripping on his shoulder.
Kurt's the outlier in everything. We're like, man, we really don't like Cinderella Table. I actually love Cinderella Table. Like he was always the one that went the opposite of everyone else in the
It's
group.
called balance, Garrett.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Providing that perspective that's balanced across the board. And without him, what would we do?
He's the yang to our yin.
That's right. Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving, Garrett. We will see you in a couple of days. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Thank you so much once again for being a part of the broadcast and for celebrating with us as we head on into Turkey Week. If there's anything we can do for you, head on over to kingdomreportlive.com and fill out the communication form. And remember, the legacy of Walt Disney, well, it lives on because of people like you and me. Have yourselves a wonderful holiday. We will see you back here 2 weeks from Saturday. Enjoy Thanksgiving.